Hola a todos, and welcome to Miss Harmony Spanish, the podcast designed to help complete beginners learn Spanish from scratch. I'm your host Harmony, and today we're doing a deep dive into the wonderful world of Spanish introductions. Now, over the last two podcasts, we've covered how to say hello, and how to ask people how they are, and how to respond when people ask how we are. Today we're going to look at something slightly different, but we're going to be in the introduction sector. We're going to be able to introduce ourselves and give our name and ask other people for their names in reply. So if you're ready, then I'm ready, and let's get started. Vamos! In today's episode, we are going to start with the basics of how to introduce yourself in Spanish. So whether you're planning a trip to a Spanish-speaking country, or you simply just want to impress your friends and family with your newfound language skills, this is a great place to start. Alrighty, now before we jump in, let's learn a couple of key phrases that are going to be very useful for our introductions. The first phrase is literally going to be the translation of "my name is." Now, the Spanish for this is not actually that far away from the English version of it, I'll be honest. And I imagine that if you had heard it, or you have seen it written, you would know exactly what it means. Now, to say "my name is" in Español, it becomes "mi nombre es." Mi nombre es. Now, the common mistake a lot of people make is assuming that nombre is number. No. Nombre is name. So mi nombre es is my name is. So let's break this down into smaller syllables so we can understand it, how to pronounce it. So it goes mi nombre es. Mi nombre es. See, it's not too far away from the English, is it? So whenever you're ready, repeat after me. Mi nombre es. Muy bien, chicos. So, my name is, mi nombre es. Wonderful phrase, and it's universal too. You'll find that it's used pretty much everywhere in all Spanish-speaking countries. But the one thing I want to ask you as a native English speaker, other than it being very formal, because I do think saying "hello, my name is Harmony" is very formal, would you normally say "my name is"? Now, if I was just to go to the local pub and I'd met somebody there and they'd said hello, I'd never normally say "hello, my name is Harmony." I'm more likely to say "hi, I'm Harmony." And the Spanish have an equivalent for that as well. Now, one of the most wonderful things about the Spanish language is that with some words, or multiple of words, like a phrase or something in English, are condensed down to one word. You'll see that as we go through this podcast what I mean, but this is the perfect example of what I'm going to teach you. So in English we have two words to say I am Harmony. So in Spanish they condense it down to one singular word, and it is soy. Soy. Now, literally pronounced as soy sauce or soy milk, soy, S-O-Y. And it's a wonderful word that means I am. So I would say soy Harmony. Now, Harmony instead of Harmony because the Spanish pretend that the H's aren't there. But that's a different thing for another day. So to say I am, you would say soy, just as one word. It's great. It's a fantastic phrase to know because you can use it for multiples of things, okay? I am Harmony, I am a teacher, I am whatever, okay? So you can use it for a multitude of things. So whenever you're ready, repeat after me. Soy. Fantastico, chicos. The third one I want to introduce you to is something that is hard to explain in English. So you will absolutely get away with mi nombre es and soy, but the one that is more commonly used is something I'm going to teach you. Now, if this doesn't stick, then don't worry, let it go over your head. As long as you remember at least one of these phrases, you will be absolutely fine. Okay, now in Espanol, the most common way somebody would introduce themselves or introduce their name is by saying mi llamo. Mi llamo. Now, mi llamo is what's known as a reflex verb. Now, if you don't know what one of those are, it means it's basically doing something to oneself. Now, mi refers to myself, as in mi llamo. The mi refers to me, as in myself. And the llamo comes from the verb llamar, which means to call. So we get I call because it's not llamar, it's llamo. Don't worry about the verb conjugations at this present moment. So llamo means I call, and the me means myself. So me llamo means I call myself. Now that is a very complicated concept to teach and to even understand if as a beginner. So please don't worry if you don't understand what on earth I am going on about. Just understand that me llamo means I call myself. Now that is the most commonly used one, I would say, in Espanol. So it is a wonderful one to know if you want to sound a bit more native, a bit more confident, but you will absolutely get away with mi nombre es and soy. So they're absolutely fine. So we're going to go through mi llamo. I'm going to break it down into syllables, learn how to pronounce it. But if you don't quite understand it, then soy and mi nombre es is absolutely fine too. Now let's break down mi llamo into two separate words. Let's start with the me first. Now me is spelt and pronounced the same way the English spell and pronounce me, as in come with me. So it's just me, okay? Now llamo on its own is a word that may differ depending on where you go. Now the Spanish that I speak and I was taught is all double L's are pronounced a y sound, so llamo. However, if you go to different countries, so Central America, South America, wherever else, it may change slightly. Now I know if you go closer to Madrid in España, they are more likely to pronounce it like a j sound. So it'd be mi llamo, okay? It's only a minor difference. And if you go to some places in South America, it's more like a ch sound, so mi llamo, okay? So depending on where you are or where you want to go, the dialect changes slightly, but it's only a minor thing. And if you are aware that all double L's change with wherever you want to go, I think it's going to be easier to implement. But I will teach you how I pronounce it, which is a y sound. So I pronounce it mi llamo. So mi on its own, llamo. Okay, so put it together, we get mi llamo. So whenever you're ready, repeat after me. Mi llamo. Muy bien, chicos. Great job, guys. You are doing fantastico today. So now we've learned the essential phrases. Let's put them to use and learn how to introduce ourselves. So imagine you're meeting somebody for the first time. You're in a quaint, nice little bar in the middle of Spain and there's nobody around you that speaks English. You can say, hola, mi nombre es Harmony. Obviously change Harmony to whatever your name is. But that means, hello, my name is Harmony. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say it once with Harmony as my name, but when you repeat it back to me, put your name in instead, okay? So, hola, mi nombre es Harmony. Fantastico, well done, okay. So what if you want to take it a step further? So you can introduce yourself a bit more casually and literally just change it to soy. So, hola, soy Harmony, and you just change it to your name. So whenever you're ready, repeat after me. Hola, soy Harmony. Muy bien. Now let's try with the most complicated one, mi llamo. Now, even if you don't understand reflex verbs or understand what I'm going on about, then don't worry. As long as you understand the phrase and what the phrase means, don't worry about it. We will get to reflex verbs eventually. At the minute, you don't need to overwhelm yourself with a lot of grammatical stuff. Okay, so I would say, mi llamo Harmony. Now, have you noticed that there's no S in there? A lot of people tend to want to say, mi llamo es Harmony. And that's not right. That's like saying I call myself is Harmony. Doesn't sound right in English either. Okay, so it's just mi llamo and then your name. So as we have done, I'll say it with Harmony, but when you repeat it back to me, replace it with your name instead. Okay, so whenever you're ready, repeat after me. Hola, mi llamo Harmony. Muy bien, chicos. Now, the last thing I want to introduce to you is in how to ask somebody their name. So it's something that you may hear, but something you may also say too. So it's a good phrase to know. Now, it comes from the same sort of verb that mi llamo comes from, to call. So the Spanish would say, ¿Cómo te llamas? Which means, how do you call yourself? Yeah, complicated, I know, I'm sorry, okay? So let's break it down and put it in a way that we can understand, okay? So they would say, ¿Cómo te llamas? Now, it's gone from mi llamo to ¿Cómo te llamas? Now, ¿cómo means how. So if we take that out of the equation, we're left with te llamas. Now, te is the equivalent of you, and llamas is you call. So, me llamo is I call myself, and te llamas is you call yourself. So, the Spanish wouldn't say, what's your name, like we do in English. They would say, how do you call yourself? So, it would be, ¿cómo te llamas? Break it down. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? So, whenever you're ready, repeat after me. ¿Cómo te llamas? Excelente, chicos. You're now equipped with loads of different ways of how to introduce yourself and how to ask for somebody else's name in Spanish. Practice does make perfect, so try and practice these with somebody else, or even in front of a mirror, that works too. So let's wrap up today by reviewing what we've just done. So mi nombre es, my name is, soy, I am, ¿cómo te llamas? How do you call yourself? And me llamo, I call myself. And there you have it. A quick and easy lesson on how to introduce yourself in Espanol. And that's everything for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed our time together as much as I did. And if you have any questions or there's a specific topic you would like us to cover in future episodes, please don't hesitate to reach out. So, hasta la próxima semana. Until next time, keep learning and exploring the beautiful Spanish language. Adiós, amigos.